Bad dubbing, like a bad sound system, can ruin a good movie. It doesn't matter how good the acting and story may be if the sound is muffled by bad speakers, or the words don't match the lips, or the closed captioning doesn't match the audio. The experience simply isn't what it should or could be. Tolerable at best, but often simply unwatchable. There's a lesson in those experiences for Christians in today's Sunday struggles on morning minutes in the Bible. Phillip Shumake spoke to the West End Church of Christ in Bowling Green, Kentucky today on the subject of facing modern challenges, and began with a list of 5 hurdles we must overcome in order to properly deal with modern challenges. The first hurdle is terminology. If we aren't using the same terminology, communication is going to be a serious challenge. Whatever the topic of discussion may be, if we're not using the same words, or if we're using the same words with completely different meanings, then communication will not take place. In other words, just like bad dubbing can ruin a good movie, bad communication can ruin a good discussion. As Christians, it's our job to understand not only what we're saying, but what the other party is saying as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no choice in this matter. If we're going to always be ready to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have, 1 Peter 3:15, we must know their terminology. We don't want to sound like a badly dubbed movie, so we must be able to speak the same language. And that requires much more than speaking the same language, English or Spanish, etc., but using the same or similar words in those languages that are understood by both parties. And that's why it's a struggle. We must work to understand the words others are using so we can comprehend what they're saying and respond in an understandable way. That requires listening and analyzing before speaking, rather than just assuming and responding to what we think they mean. That may even require us to read and study what they're reading and studying. Quite often it's complicated by the fact that some terminology is completely irrational, and it's all we can do to keep from ridiculing and insulting anyone who speaks in such illogical terms. Yet resist we must, even if we're greeted with ridicule and insults. If we're unwilling to put in the effort, we often end up stumbling over the second hurdle, anger, ours or theirs or both. Oh, and there's this little thing about loving your neighbor as yourself that Jesus called the second greatest commandment. We might want to ponder on what that means too, so we don't end up condemned by God. Now, what were you saying? Thank you for watching Sunday Struggles on Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until next time, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.